Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see. I should be live. All right, cool. I am. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stacey Storino. Welcome to my channel. I have been a content marketing / business coach for going into my 9th year now. And I'm all about teaching my students who tend to be more mature entrepreneurs with pre-existing businesses how to drive more traffic to their business so that they can do more business. Content marketing is awesome. It can do a whole heck of a lot for you. It's great, but it's of no use for you if it doesn't actually bring you the conversions that you need for your business to succeed. So, what we really try to focus in on here normally is whether it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on TikTok. I've gotten 7-figure success students under my belt, multiple six figure success students under my belt. I have people who have had all sorts of success, including but not limited to on TikTok. Even though we're more mature entrepreneurs, it doesn't mean that we can't be successful on TikTok. My biggest, most successful student thus far is up to 825,000 folks on TikTok. And yes, it does drive more sales for them. Because again, all of this content marketing is of absolutely no use if it's not adding to your bottom line, of course. So if that's the sort of thing that you want to learn about, you've come to the right channel. Every day in January 2022, I will have a live free coaching session. I'll post the replays, and we will have a series. It's all in a series playlist. It's like a 2022 business reboot playlist on my channel. And you can go there because every single day we're going to introduce a concept or have a little something that we do. And then every single day thereafter, we tend to build on what we've done the previous day and the days leading up to today. Each lesson can be its own standalone lesson too, make no mistake. But, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you should. We have weekly content here every day again in January 2022. We are live with replays. And then otherwise, we have usually 2 pieces of content that goes up on my channel per week. So hold on just a second. I want to make sure. So we're going to talk about how to dump self-sabotage today. Sure, what we talk about today can help you personally, but it's also I want to focus. I shoot things through the lens here on this channel through an entrepreneurial lens. So if your life could be perfect to near perfect personally, but when it comes to your own business, for whatever the reason, you're the shoemaker who has no shoes otherwise, or you are self-sabotaging hard when it comes to your own business. And so today is going to be a bit of an exploration about why we do that and what we can do to stop it. But we're also going to go back and kind of quickly touch upon stuff that we've covered in the previous days and how doing those things can help us also as additional tools to defeat entrepreneurial self-sabotage. And I want to greet anybody who's a student or subscriber of mine. If you know of anybody personally and or professionally who could use help on this front, be sure to share this video out. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and click the bell notification and select all, because again, I'm going live here every single day in January 2022, so you don't want to miss the live stream or the replay announcements. And also January marketing sales mini course. I have up for sale my champagne batch of frosting for $47. You get a mini course, a Facebook group, and there's a whole bunch of pre-existing post prompts in there, one for every day of January, in this case 2022, that can help you to increase your success in terms of both your relationship marketing and your straight up sales based content marketing success in January. Depending upon the business model you have, if you're like a coach or a course creator, you're like, oh, the next 2 months are definitely my Christmas. If you're a products-based business, handmade or otherwise, you might just be coming off of a great strong Q4 or the 4th business quarter of the year, the last 3 months of 2021 might be, you would expect your highest and best months. when I have even products-based business students come to me, even if they have handmade businesses, they have long ago and far away learned to drop the old tropes that you can't sell persistently and consistently every month. Sure, maybe Q4 is going to be your best because every business model has a season attached to it where it's going to be busy. But like, you don't have to accept the trope if you're not a coach or a course creator and you're dealing with new year, new me. You don't have to accept the trope that January and February, except maybe anything you might do around Valentine's Day, is going to suck for you, because it doesn't have to. People have birthdays to shop for all year round. They have life events that come up. Now anything goes. You can definitely have weddings in January and October, weren't used to just be around the summer months. Honestly, the Champagne Batch of Frosting, which is my January marketing and sales mini course, for a tripwire price, it's nice. It actually, one of the lessons in there teaches you how to take every New Year's resolution that someone might have and take your courses, your products, your services, your offerings, and match them up with some to all of those New Year's resolutions so that you can get just regular sales from people, not just people that are shopping for birthdays and life events in January. Anyway, you don't have to accept the old trope that other than a clearance sale in January, why bother? Or if you're not like a winter business per se, you're selling, products and or services that can help people in the winter months, you're not going to do anything this month because, it's January. No way. Again, as a quick aside, I always tell my students, and then we're going to get into greeting everybody, and then we're going to get into the teaching for today. I always tell my students, you want to go for upper middle class and above when you are trying to sell your products. You don't want to compete on price. The cheapest game in town doesn't have a really great profit margin. So unless you are driving a huge amount of people to your website, to your sales pages and stuff, you are going to have a very hard time making much, if any, money. You're better off, creating content and pricing to the top of your market to appeal to people who are upper middle class and above, and they can afford to buy stuff just for fun every single month of the year, right? If you sell jewelry, you should be selling jewelry to people at least once a month, every single month of the year. A lot of your email list and a lot of your social following should be like, gorgeous, I want it. I want to stay fashionable. I want to stay fresh. I'm a jewelry freak. I'm going to buy jewelry every single month, right? I have the money to do it. You don't want to sit there and pitch solely or primarily to people who are barely getting by. They can't barely afford Christmas and birthday gifts, So don't ever feel bad about selling to your email list, even if you're a more advanced student of mine. Well, you're not feeling bad. You're seeing that my stuff works. You're going to sell to your list every single week. Every business is open for business every single day. So let me greet my students, and then we're going to get into how to dump, especially entrepreneurial self-sabotage. We're going to explore why you might do that. Hey, Ann McDonald. Hey, Susie B. Hey, I'm Chicken Swell. What's going on? Good to see you. Marja, what's going on? Hey, Marja Pinker. Good to see you. Carol Tedesco. Neil is here. What's going on, Miss Carol? Lisa Garrett, I see you. Miss Heidi, Happy New Year. It's been a minute. Stuff and Junk by Heidi is here. Marilyn Roselle is here. Good to see you. Laura, Music Chick Art is here. And let's see. Oh, and Bridget and Darren are here from Personal Space Creations. Good to see you. Sandy B. All right. And make sure you give me, and Ginny Weaver. How did I miss you, Ginny? No offense. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. It really does help me see when people are tuning in. Some of my students, you'll notice, will put both hashtag live and hashtag replay because they may have to see each video more than once, or they're in and out while I'm live and then they come back on the replay. But honestly, I do look at these and it does give me some very important information. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, especially if you like the fact that I am laying down free training every single day in the month of January 2022 for you. And if you've missed any of the previous days, I have a playlist, and it's like the 2022 business reboot playlist, or the name something to that effect. So make sure you check that out. Hey, Emily Herg, what's going on? and Chelsea Turner. Good to see you, Chelsea Turner. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. It's been a while, but I'm back, and thank you for having the free trainings. My pleasure. It is not all about the money for me. It's not all about the money for many of us. I like to do give backs, usually on my YouTube channel, like February through the end of the year. I have a free training every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I usually on the regular will do like a give back. And then there's usually at least one, if not more, pre-recorded videos that also tend to show up on this YouTube channel. And all the videos are organized neatly into playlists. If you need to learn about TikTok growth, like I said earlier, I have a student who went to 825,000 on TikTok. We have the TikTok growth playlist where video by video, I break down various strategies that help them grow every six-figure batch, right? So like that's really good for you. And that's on this YouTube channel. So make sure that you check it out. Okay, Larry Roberts is here. Larry Roberti. Sorry. Hey, Larry, what's going on? And Personal Space Creation says, email is where I continuously self-sabotage. I write the email, but sometimes I don't schedule it. I get social media all day, but I get scared of sending emails. So that's cool. And then that helps me tie into or close the loop and get into the training for today as well. So first of all, let's all appreciate Bridget from Personal Space Creations, because that takes a lot of vulnerability and transparency, and it's great leadership to admit that. She and Darren are on track to do 7 figures this year, and I'm very proud of them. They do a lot of things right. When Bridget first came to me, I think Darren was a bit of a doubter, maybe a little on some things, but now it's just like the whole family is like, yup, you know, and she has worked very hard to not just learn stuff, but to implement it. And you're not likely going to, you know, check off every box, first rattle out of the box when you're doing something. And especially if you're older and you're not techie or you barely use social media for social purposes, let alone now you got to like cover a daily base on at least the top 2 social media platforms that your ideal customers on. And speaking of Bridget, she knows that for one of her and her husband's 2 businesses that they have, Twitter is huge for her ideal customer. She hates Twitter. I don't like Twitter at all. I think it's like a cesspool sometimes. But if that's where your ideal customer is hanging out, and you know that even at a minimum, it's amongst the top 2 social media platforms that you have to have a presence on to be discovered by them, to remain top of mind, and to the extent that the algorithms do it on that particular platform, you give them enough content and enough data points with properly optimized content, the algorithms start to suggest you out to other people who aren't following you yet but should be. That's what I like to refer to as digital matchmaking. Then the platform wins because it stays relevant, more people are using it. They're not likely to go to competitors as much, and they get to serve up more ads to those people, so they get to make money. And of course, you get what you want out of it too, as a more mature entrepreneur doing content creation on behalf of your business. As you get bigger, you're going to have team members do that for you, or at least with you. By the time you're like more intermediate in your business, you've worked out all the kinks for your business. You have proof of concept. You're selling at least 2 sales a month or 2 income producing events, depending upon your business model. Like products-based businesses, okay, 1 sale might be a coupon every month that you put out. It's only good for X amount of days and then it's over. It expires. The second sales-based event might just be a site-wide sale, right? But for a coach or a course creator or someone who sells services and service packages, maybe for the service-based people, a free consultation, sign up during these days, or like a quick, like your first treatment free or whatever, or discount, that makes sense. But very limited days, so you get scarcity, urgency, and leverage on people. But what would be like, if you're a coach, okay, maybe I'll push my, I'll promote and I'll sell like my main course every month because I'm constantly building up that email list. There's people who couldn't buy last month that could this month. There are people who've been saving up and now they can pull the trigger. There's people who got onto my email list last month that they weren't there when I promoted my main course, right? So even for coaches and course creators, once a month, you should be plugging your mainstay course. If you only, quote unquote, only have one course, then obviously that. But what would be your second income producing event? It depends upon your business model. It could be It could be that you are driving people to an affiliate link for a tool that you use, that you recommend that they use to get the outcome that they want. And so you drive them there and you get affiliate income, you get a cut. It could be that you have your own merch. And so you do a merch drop. If you're a coach teaching people about weight loss, you might have your own branded towels and water bottles. You might have your own branded gear that they wear, right? Anne McDonald, one of my students, she trains, she has courses where she teaches, or in-person classes right now. She's building a course for dog training. And so, once a month, she might be, promoting her in-person classes until they fill up. When she has the online course, that might be a second separate promotion, and or she could have a promotion where she's driving people to buy like the like the collar and the leash that she recommends, that she would have people use in their in-person training. And maybe she's an Amazon affiliate and she gets affiliate income that way, right? So, but to go back to Bridget's original Twitter, yes, I know I don't love it, but for some of us, it's a necessary evil. It's not about us when we are content marketing on certain platforms. It's not about what we like. It's about staying top of mind and being discoverable, going to where the attention is at for your ideal customer. And when you're a beginner, you can only cover the top 2 social media platforms that are most important to your people. Once you get to be intermediate, I would push out to 3, and I would have 3 sales promotions a month. Once you're advanced, you can really reinvest back into your business out of your profit margins. You are growing a team and growing your reach. You can cover 4 social media platforms a month. Somewhere around intermediate, you should have your own YouTube channel and put out content at least once a week there. But to get back to poor Bridget, let me close the loop on her, and then we will go into the training immediately after that. You can learn a lot and you can implement a lot, and you can have great healthy frequency for the platforms that you're on with social media. You can be persistent and consistent putting out, content on those platforms, and you can be getting a lot of results too. But email marketing is so key. And Bridget had the vulnerability and the transparency to admit that email marketing has been a stumbling block for her. Not to say that she never does it, but she can even have emails templated out for her that she fills in and she tweaks to at least cover a once a week email, a broadcast that she's going to send out to her whole list. And she's still not doing it, or she still isn't scheduling it to go out, through her email service provider. And she recognizes that that's a shortcoming for herself. And knowing really is half the battle, especially as an entrepreneur. And by the way, Bridget's like me. She's a Gen Xer, and she's part of the sandwich generation. She's got her own kids and now grandkids on the one end, and she's helping out and or being supportive with them. She's got to take care of herself, of course, and her husband. And then she's got her moms. She's got elder care. And that is something that's very common for Gen X, more than even Gen Y, or of course, Gen Z. They're still super young themselves. She's got a lot on her plate. But yet she recognizes that there's a place that she does have to get better at. And email marketing is a must, is a must, is a must. Is any student of mine knows, you actually should be getting, over the course of a month, roughly approximately 3/4 of your sales from your email marketing. The remaining approximate quarter should come from your well-optimized website, say out through Google search, and your YouTube channel. And, if a podcast is important and you're advanced enough, you fold that in. Don't sweat it up in the beginning. And your social media marketing. And people's jaws drop when they say that, but go Google it. It's not fake news. I didn't just pull this out of the air. Although I can say through my own experience with my coach course creation business, which is going into its 9th year, it's the truth. And I can say that even for my 7-figure success client, Joe's Dairy Barn Grill, it's the truth. Sure, they get a lot of foot traffic because they're a brick and mortar, but when they send out an email, whether it's got a coupon, a sale, an offering, or they're just introducing, their edible product line collections, if you will, wham. It's like they're printing money. It's not if it's going to drive sales of something specific, or if it isn't going to push up sales where normally they'd be dead. It's just a matter of how big the level of success is. You cannot be afraid to email your list. Okay, that's a big common point that a lot of entrepreneurs get into when it comes to the concept of self-sabotaging. A lot of what I say you can extrapolate out into your personal life, but I'm a business coach, right? I'm not a garden variety life coach. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But you do need to. Bridget's right. She says it's like I'm an email introvert. That kind of says to me, and this is something that you can extrapolate out to wherever your weak spots are as an entrepreneur. There may be some part of you that's afraid to get too direct when you're asking for sales from your email list, right? It's and think about it. This is common sense. And this is definitely, we're now into the training proper because, and Bridget, this was so perfect. We're in a vibe, girl. We did not compare notes before we started. You need to know, like, yes, you need a website for your business, no matter what business model you have. Again, you can Google this. This is not fake news. 60% of people will not buy from you at all if you don't have a website because you don't feel like a real business. Okay. Whatever it was 5, 10, 15 years ago, it is different now. And you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So having a website's important. That said, the first time you drive traffic directly to that website, 98% of people won't buy. Again, Google it. I did not just make this up. It's not the gospel according to Stacey Storino. Please. So you have to drive traffic to your website multiple times. But let's just face this. How many of you are actually doing that, watching live or on the replay? Or you're doing it persistently, consistently, like at least weekly, if not daily or close? Practically none of you, right? Practically none of you. So, but you might have that website up. And if you do, and even if you keep it updated, on the regular to semi-regular, you may feel really good about yourself. Well, I have a business, Stacey, and I do have a website and it doesn't look dated and none of the links are broken. And, like every week to 2 weeks, I might do a blog or I might update it or put another product listing up there or whatever. And let's just pretend you got SEO or search engine optimization, like keyword optimization on point. Sure, over time, Google's going to love you more and more. For the average person really working their SEO really hard and or having a team to help them do it, it can take you several months to start really getting good traction on Google. It's not your fault. The deck isn't stacked against you. Google is a very, very, very mature platform with a ton of competition on it. But in about up to 6 months, you can get serious traction on a SERP or an SERP, which is an acronym for a search engine results page. You can, but that's very like indirect marketing if your SEO isn't on point, if you're not keeping that website updated. Yes, you're better than a ton of other entrepreneurs that don't have a website at all. Yes, you seem like more of a real business if someone discovers you on Etsy or Amazon or Skillshare or Udemy or wherever. They'll open up another tab to start checking you out, and you never get a second chance to make a first impression. That's very true. But having your own website, while is important, and you can even have it well optimized to build your email list, and it's important to do that too. That's a separate topic for a separate day. But that's very indirect, right? You're not, unless you're shoveling traffic to that website very specifically, daily, near daily, at least weekly, with email and content marketing. Believe it or not, subconsciously, you feel very, very confident because you feel very comfortable. You're still in your comfort zone. It might have been very out of your comfort zone to either pay somebody to do that website for you and or you built your own website. Like a lot of my students, they might have gotten a website building course from Renee Christine of Cupcake Trainings called Ultimate Architect. That's how I found Renee myself, and now we're friends. And I love that course. Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill has a website that was built directly off what Renee teaches in her Ultimate Architect course. It was definitely out of our comfort zone to get the course, take the course, and implement. And then we had a website, which would do us absolutely not a mooch if we were not driving people there. It would do not much at all. But you could feel like, okay, that's a big milestone. And it is. It's a lot of work and or expense. Yes, it could be, no matter how you go out and get it. And you tell yourself, I'm a real entrepreneur. who makes nothing or next to nothing, because if you totally aren't perfect with your SEO optimization day in, day out, that website's only going to attract so many people on its own. And unless you are a huge industry leader, there's only so much on its own that even a well optimized website can do, which is why you need to get more serious about content marketing, and why it is so especially serious that you get good at email marketing. You have to email your list a minimum of once a week. If you're not doing that, you are training your people up all wrong. And paradoxically, when you do scattershot email your list, you will barely get any responses, if any. You will get barely any sales, if any. And you will actually paradoxically get more unsubscribes, because you're living your life in your business 24/7. You forget that practically no one else is. So you didn't stay top of mind. You gave them little to no value with emails that might have just been for relationship marketing purposes only. You should be doing those. At most, maybe a PS reminding them that a sale is on, if that's the case, or a coupon still live, if that's the case. But then you should be selling to your list. That's why I said it a couple sessions ago, right? We started January 1st. This is January 4th. So this is the fourth session. If you missed any, go back to the playlist, which I will also link in the comments, especially I will link and pin after this replay goes up. But you can find it. You can easily open another tab, go to my YouTube channel and go up. There's the playlist. Tap on that. It should be one of the top playlists. The 2022 like business reboot, right? But I'm telling you, if you're afraid to email your list, that is one of the worst forms of entrepreneurial self-sabotage that you can do, because your people, if they didn't put their hand up to even get on your email list, then they are less likely. I'm not saying not likely at all, but they're less likely to buy just because they see stuff on social. Some will, most won't. Like I said earlier, 98% of people on their first trip to your website won't buy. If they go back over and over again because you're driving them there with emails, live streams, and you post the link down below, like if you're live on Facebook or here on YouTube or something like that, or on Instagram, if you don't share out that link or at least mention like your website, you're not driving traffic to that website. But if somebody doesn't want to get on your email list when it's free for them to do so, they're going to be very unlikely to buy from you. The folks that are likely to get on your email list, even if they get like a freebie, a coupon, or both, it's free for them to do that too. Most people, even baby boomers nowadays, know that they can unsubscribe from lists they don't want to stay on. So it's not like people are loath to get on your email list. Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill is going to have 10,000 people on their email list anytime now. And our open rates and click-through rates are gorgeous for that business. It's like printing money every single damn time they send out an email. They're not afraid to market to their people daily if they need to, weekly at a very, very minimum, no matter how busy that now 7-figure business is. But did you know that back in, early to mid 2016, the owners were very resistant to setting up an email list and promoting it? They said, everybody gets so much email. Here they are self-sabotaging. Nobody needs to be on my email list. Everyone has too much email. Nobody wants to get an email from a mom and pop shop that's 765 square feet big in the middle of like Dutchess County, New York. Nobody needs to get email from us. And then we're going to be pushing out coupons. Like, that's so pushy. If they want to eat our food, they'll come to our store. They know where we are. They could look us up on Google. Like, we don't need to do this. By the middle of the year, I finally prevailed upon them to start doing at least weekly emails. And they have never looked back since. That is one of the bigger reasons why they were able to grow their business. And again, that's why I say, like, people can look them up on Google and they're capable of buying, like, ordering takeout or delivery from them. Or, they can certainly contact them by phone once they're on the website if they have any questions, and they can get sales that way. Of course, they can just wash ashore at the brick and mortar business. And of course, they do get sales through Messenger via Facebook and direct messages or DMs on Instagram and even TikTok. They can get that. But you know where most of their regular sales are coming from? It's from people who know them through the email list. And especially when they print out coupons or have deals, those people are citing to the email list disproportionately to people who are just kind of washing ashore. It is an act of self sabotage if you refuse to get an email list for your business, when honestly, 99.9% of the times, that's where you're going to get most of your sales from anybody who cared enough to ascend themselves in relationship with you to say, I'll at least get on your email list. I don't mind hearing from you. No one got on your personal email list and like you're their Aunt Benwina. And so you might send occasional like cutesy little like relationship kind of based emails or e-cards and stuff like that for the holidays. And then suddenly come January, every single day, Aunt Benwina is like emailing you to go get on her Tupperware parties. I mean, that's kind of like a bait and switch, right? And Aunt Benwina might not mean any harm, but you have the right to feel kind of like thrown or askew that you're getting all these emails where, book a party with me and I'll give you a free little Tupperware thing or a free cheese scraper or something like that, right? Um, she can be making all sorts of offers to you, but many people on that email list of hers, her personal email list, will be resistant to her because they didn't, I didn't want this. This is just my Aunt Benwina. You're not someone's Aunt Benwina. When you set up a business focused email and a business focused email service provider based account, like something like MailChimp, for example. Coaches and course creators, you might go on to something like Entreport or ConvertKit or something like that. But if you are too scared to send an email to your list and say, hey, this is my, if you're a product space collection, this is my Valentine's Day collection. And you want to make sure you place your order now so things could get shipped to you long before mid-February comes. It's almost never too early to get people's attention for that. Or if you have products that are more evergreen in nature, no matter what kind of product-based business you are, you should be reminding people, at least once a month that you have that evergreen offering, that evergreen product line collection. Or if you're a coach and you have like a main course, you should be selling that every single month. Dan Henry, who's really big in like the ClickFunnels, sphere, he said that sure, launches can bring in a lot of money up front. It can, especially if you know what you're doing. But he said, even me knowing what I'm doing on an evergreen, like week in, week out, I'm reminding people about like one or more of my other courses or one or more of this particular course I launched. Evergreen's going to outpace a launch every single time. You're not asking for business enough if you're not making enough money. You really have to make more offers more often. You're not someone's Aunt Benwina. You are a business. They got on a business's email list. Statistically speaking, 60% of all people expect to be sold to on a regular basis when they're on your email list. So if you are paranoid schizophrenic about seeming too pushy, you have to remind yourself they knew what they were getting into. They can always unsubscribe. If they unsubscribe from you, they weren't going to buy from you anyway. You're not being rude, crude, and with an attitude. You're not being cussy and vulgar, more likely than not, when you're sending out these emails. You are providing them your offerings, whether they're products or services or a bit of both. Your offerings are all about helping your ideal customer get out of pain and into pleasure. Who is going to be offended that you are helping them to do that? And then something might be on sale or it's a product drop, cart open, cart close, make sure you don't miss out. How is any of that offensive? If the right person got on your email list, it isn't. And even if they don't buy from you this week, they might next week or they might next month, but when you let too much time pass, you're too afraid, you're too toxic about like approaching anybody about anything on your email list, whether it's a sale, whether it's a coupon, or you know what, I put out a nice education how-to based video on YouTube, or I did a live stream where I showcased how to use products like mine to help you get out of pain and into pleasure, or I'm talking shop about some sort of symptom or some sort of thing that has to do with that main pain point. Like even people who sell jewelry people all the time try to stump me. How much jewelry could anyone have? You could be talking about, you could be doing like a live stream with a replay on Facebook, for example, where okay, you're showcasing off some evergreen products that you might be selling or a collection that you have a lot of pieces of right now, and you could be using those as like demo items where you're not per se directly selling your jewelry, although you will make mention where these props came from and where if someone wants to go and look into them more or buy them for themselves or someone else, they can go to, you'll drop the links in the Facebook live down below. You'll pin the most important one live and on the replay, right? And you know what? You're going to be like, but the whole purpose of your trunk show or your demo, for example, is you're showing them what metals look good against somebody's skin or what stones are on trend now and why, or different ways to wear different pieces of jewelry separate and together to because this is what's fashionable right now. And I'm telling you, it's not necessarily sell, sell, sell. The accent mark is on delivering value. And I tell my students, you should be doing this at least about twice as much as sell, 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 which you should be doing a lot. You're probably not making enough offers if you're not making enough money. But honestly, you should be emailing out your list once the replay is up from Facebook and share the link so that they can go to that demo and see this stuff themselves. And you will get more sales. And even the sales that you don't end up getting, if they don't go running off the list, they got value if they clicked on that link. And they are staying around for a reason. They want to hear more from you, not less. People who are in pain or people who like just love makeup, jewelry, skincare. They love self-improvement for my coaches and course creators. They love eating healthy and fresh and local for my farm owner slash blacksmith, one of my students, right? Like seriously, they want to talk shop about that pain point or that passion point all day. A good deal of your content marketing, the accent mark is on providing value and talking shop with them. They will never get tired of binging that content. They will never get tired about talking to you, binging your content. But, the accent mark is on value, but they still might buy, or you stay top of mind. You put more deposits into the bank of know, like, and trust. So now they're more likely to buy from you when they're ready to. Does this make sense? Let me know live and or on the replay. Does this make sense? Challenge me. I'm serious. I'm going into my 9th year. Okay. I know what I'm doing. So Carol O'Neill also is vulnerable, and she says, I'm right there with you, Bridget, from Personal Space Creations. Gen X sandwich with kids and grandkids, family and elder care, plus trying to work full time. It's hard to understand all of the tech. But you know what? For most of you starting out, I would highly recommend that you just get MailChimp. MailChimp, I'm not going to drop any links. I don't get any benefit from this. MailChimp didn't sponsor this, live stream / replay. It's free, I think, in this snapshot of time for up to the first 1,000 contacts on your email list. Once you get 1,000 or more contacts on your email list, if you even kind of know what you're doing, you're making plenty of money to pay not that much to get from 1,000 to 5,000, people on MailChimp. It's inexpensive. And like half an hour on YouTube, you're done. There's a lot of step-by-step full tutorials on how to use MailChimp. Naturala Vita is the YouTuber that I would recommend that you go to if you want to learn about MailChimp. Natural Vita. The word natural and then Vita, V-I-T-A at the end, all one word. There's something else in her name too. I'm forgetting her whole YouTube handle. But if you put in MailChimp and Natural Vita, boom, it's going to come up. Doesn't cost you any money to learn about it. Half an hour of your time. Do it on a lunch break. You're welcome. Done. Moving on. Okay. I'm serious. You need your damn email list. Sandy B says, I built my website with Renee. Love Ultimate Architect. Ginia Weaver says, I'm building a website now with UA for a new focus my business is taking. Great. Ginia says, I'm so glad I found you for all of this training. Perfect timing for me. Great, Ginia. Carol says, built website with Renee too. I had 99% help with younger tech guru. I need to do the driving of my website too. Do driving to my website too. Email's gonna do it more powerfully because those people already ascended in a relationship closer to you. And if you're emailing them once a week, sales-based messages, values slash with relationship marketing based messages, both, you're gonna be ending up, oh dear, you're gonna be ending up report spam. People, grow your business on your own time. Ew. Let's see. So yeah, email is going to drive people to your website more than social will. So again, just so you understand how you might be self-sabotaging yourself as an entrepreneur and you didn't think you were. It's great to have a website. Yes, you need one. But if you're not driving traffic there, you're going to get very little business. But, you feel like, well, if somebody looks me up on Google and then they magically go to my website and they decide to buy, then I wasn't pushy and then I got sales from them. Sure, that can happen. You'll starve if that's all you're waiting for. And you never actively push traffic to your website, especially pages or posts on your website where they can buy your courses, your service packages, your products, right? Social media content marketing feels a little bit more like in someone's face, but still not totally pushy because it's like social media. And so, like, if anybody finds your account, that's great. And even if you're super good at optimizing, like, okay, they're going to find you, they're going to get value from your posts, or they're going to appreciate pictures of your products or your services in action or whatever. And so, but you're not more directly saying, buy my thing a lot of times. Or if you do and they kind of move away, you're like, well, I guess this social media marketing thing isn't working. You can get sales from social media and you should. And training with me or folks like me can definitely help you get there faster, right? It'll get you to the faster route of being more successful and getting more conversions based off your content marketing. But you know what works the best no matter what is emailing. But now you suddenly feel all pushy because it's email? Yeah, those people have ascended into a relationship closer to you. Sure, they have. It's not as far away as a website floating over here, or kind of far away but closer, like social media or your YouTube channel. But if all you do is say, buy my stuff comes in green, my stuff's on sale, limited quantities for my stuff, cart open, cart close, get in before the cart closes, you might get some sales. But if you're not really better at your email marketing, if you're not really better at driving micro conversions and macro conversions on social media, you could get sales, but it'll never be what you want and it won't be what you need. In the last 2 days, we were talking about goal setting entrepreneur style. And there were a lot of people over the last 2 days that were like, I feel sheepish. I didn't even set a specific financial goal for my business. And I guess you're right, Stacey, because if I go back and reverse engineer and I suddenly have to determine how much money I have to bring in every week, every month, and every business quarter to get to the financial result that I want by the end of 2022, like I'm all about 5, 10, 20-year goals, folks. But let's look at what you could do in 2022. But that's the problem. You end up self-sabotaging there too because you feel like, oh, it's all too real. And then there's too much pressure if I tell myself that I need to make $500 a week to $1,000 a week or more so that post-tax, I can get what I need to live or to retire my husband or retire myself or pay off my credit cards or whatever, right? I need to scale and grow my business. Yeah, you got to get really specific about that. You got to name it and claim it. And that's going to get some healthy leverage on you to actually follow through instead of watching the same damn reruns over and over again. Or talking to your friend that's always up in her drama and borrowing trouble. Yeah, like it's a lot harder and you're tired and you're older and there's so much on your plate. And so you self sabotage because you employ, and this is kind of life coachy things now, you employ softeners that will help you justify why you can't get the output that you need to get out today. And I tell people, if you can't put an hour into your business every single day, 7 days a week. Okay, maybe for religious reasons, Saturday or Sunday are roped off completely for you. But then that extra hour that you can't do on the Saturday or Sunday, that needs to be spread out across the other 6 days that you can do it. Because let's be honest, folks, if you can't invest 7 hours a week for your business, no matter what that activity entails, how are you going to get to 6 figures? How are you going to get to bigger? How are you going to get those weekly sales goals that you need? You won't, or you're not likely to. So this is what I call the concept of a power hour, and it doesn't have to be an hour straight. A lot of my students know you could split it up into 2 30-minute or half-hour hemispheres. Wake up earlier in the morning, half hour, go to bed, half hour late, there's your hour. And for those people that like to be testy with me and say, well, I can't even do that because blah, blah, blah. Okay. Split it up into 4 15-minute quads. Wake up 15 minutes earlier, go to bed 15 minutes later. 2 15-minute breaks at a standard corporate America job. Fine. And you still have your whole hour at lunch to eat and kibitz and gossip and water cooler crap that doesn't help you anyway. But if you want your whole lunch hour, you can do that. Do you see how this works? So Carol says, I'm determined to master the traffic with Stacey's help. That's what I'm all about. That's what makes my channel different from a lot of other channels. I'm not going to be your one-stop shop YouTube expert, or your one-stop shop Instagram expert, or your one-stop shop Facebook expert. I'm all about how to content market properly on whatever platform you need to, but how to get the macro and micro conversions you need for your business to succeed. And if you don't even know what macro or micro conversions are, Lord help you. So really quickly, the top 3 macro conversions are getting people to follow or subscribe to you on, let's say social, whatever the platform parlance is. Then the second macro conversion is to get on your email list. And the third macro conversion, of course, is the most important one. And that's where they buy from you. They get, you get a sale. Micro conversions can be a lot of things. So just a quick example or two. Somebody hits that like button, which more of you need to do. Hit that big like button. It's like you're giving me a tip. And it not only makes my heart all happy and go pitter patter, but more importantly, while I'm live, it will push this live out to more people while I'm live. And on the replay, it's more likely to be shown to more of my subscribers at the very least on the replay. So if you guys can give me a big thumbs up, never forget to do that. That's very important. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. That kind of helps out too. It helps me out because I get to see who's showing up when, because it does matter to me. And it also is more engagement. So YouTube goes, oh, this video is more valuable, and it pushes more people out. Okay. So, and then thank you, Bridget. She says, Carol O'Neill, Stacey is the coach for you. She explains the tech without talking down to you. She helped us grow so much. That is my honor and my privilege. Bridget says, came to the realization today that the reason that the jewelry sales slump in January is because everyone got a Cricut for Christmas or decided to start a side hustle in January. But you know what? They aren't ready for the work they have to do to make their business successful. Ginia says, yes, that makes sense. I never did an email list in all the years I've been selling at conventions, though I know I should have had that personal fear of self-sabotage. Sure. And it's the most common thing, Ginia. So again, I want to celebrate you for being so transparent and so vulnerable and showing good leadership to people live and on the replay. More of us feel the same way than you could possibly imagine. And sure, it feels like more pushy and more full frontal to sell on email than it does a little bit more passively out on social. And no offense, way more passively by having that, yes, granted, very important website. But it's not like a friggin' Ron Popeil, like set it and forget it moment, folks. It's not a rotisserie chicken fryer. You can't set that website and forget it. Anne says, I hate to admit it, but I don't have an email list. I spent all my time driving business to my brick and mortar, and I didn't realize how valuable an email list is. Same thing for you, Anne. I'm so proud of you. And I think you've already conceptually grown so much since we started training together a couple of weeks ago. So I really want to recognize you for that. And I will tell you that, it's not just getting people to the brick and mortar in Anne's case so that they can fill however many set seats she might have for her dog obedience training in person. It's like, once you captured those leads, who might want to come back for another session? Who might want to refer somebody and get some sort of referral gift, right? Who might say, oh, now that you have the online course, I can use that for maintenance. Oh, and now recommends a certain wash for my, dog, or a certain treat that's healthier if I'm training with positive reinforcement. If we use choke collars, not everybody does. This is a choke collar that she likes that's high quality and more humane. Like, you could be getting affiliate income from that all day long too. An email list is the gift that keeps on giving, because here's something else that hopefully will give you guys positive leverage to stop self-sabotaging, especially when it comes to email marketing. And here it is. Getting that first sale, of course, is the hardest. Getting that second sale is less difficult, but it's not like as easy as falling off a log necessarily. Especially if you're still getting better at doing the thing by doing the thing, right? By the time you get the third sale from the same buyer, they're going to buy, if not everything you sell, they're going to become a regular buyer. And these people are more likely to evolve or ascend in relationship with you, the brand business owner, the brand leader. They're more likely to become a zealous brand advocate on behalf of you, your business. I mean, quite frankly, look at what Bridget did for me. Again, we're not comparing notes here. She's not, I didn't stack the deck here. Bridget's been training under me at least 2 years. Okay. And again, she and her husband are on track to get to 7 figures this year, and I'm very proud. So yeah, let's see. So even if you have a brick and mortar business, I don't care what business model you have, what you're selling, who you're selling it to, and why you're selling it to them. It doesn't matter. You need an email list, because how on God's green earth are you going to get that first time buyer to continue buying from you? You're going to release them back out into the wild and hope that they remember to go back to your website, or hope that they're, following you on social. I mean, maybe they are. But if they're not engaging with your content because you're not full frontal content marketing the way you need to, then the algorithms that rule each social media platform won't be sharing your stuff out as much. Every platform values consistency. On YouTube, you can do pretty well with a once a week offering if you want to grow. And a lot of my advanced students, remember, they have teams now. Okay. Their 6 figures or over, or they're just knocking on heaven's door of 6 figures, and they can reinvest back to get a video editor at the very least, and maybe somebody to help them with customer service to free up their time and bandwidth. So my advanced students, it's not at all unusual to see them publish to YouTube 2-3 times a week. It brings them money because they know how to market to get people not just to follow them, but to get on their email list and to buy from them where appropriate. Hey, I linked the champagne batch of frost in my January, relationship marketing and sales-based marketing mini course. It's under $50. It's evergreen to January. My students swear by it. It's one of my more popular batches of frost, and I have a batch of frosting corresponding with every month of the year. So there's 12 of them. They all sell well, but people love, love, love that champagne batch of frosting because it shows you all the New Year's resolutions. And even if you're selling jewelry or makeup or skincare or anything, you can just plug it into one or multiple versions of someone's New Year's resolutions and get them to buy for themselves. It doesn't matter that the holidays are over, the end of the year. Holidays are over. My students know how to generate income every single month of the year. And again, like we said more towards the top of the hour, every business is going to have its feast periods, no taking that away, but you don't have to go to famine. That's ridiculous. So notice I'm giving you guys free value, but for those that are interested, I pinned to the live, and I'll do it again on the replay, the link to my champagne batch of frosting. You can get that mini course and boom, think up all new ways to market even your more evergreen stuff. Your evergreen offerings as a coach, a course creator, a services supplier, let alone a products-based business, whether you're handmade or not. No shame. Hey, I'm providing value. If you want more, get more. If this is all you can do right now, that's cool too. I'm happy to help. Do you see me being ashamed? No. Do I have a multiple six-figure business? Yes. Do you want to know why? No, you don't anymore, right? Ginia Weaver says, ready to do this the right way now that I have a proven product line. That's cool. Michelle McLaughlin, what's up, girl? Good to see you again today. Hope you're still here. Gosh, self-sabotage. I create an email to send out to my list, and I talk myself out of it. And Carol says, me too, Michelle. And Ginia says, I sure can understand that. Michelle says, woo, I'm glad I'm not the only one. You are not. That is one of the most common self-sabotage pinch points for an entrepreneur, whether they're female, male, however they identify, no matter what they're selling and no matter who they're selling it to. And yes, I can tell you, remember, you're in the business of helping people to get out of pain and into pleasure. There's no shame in that game. And people can go, oh, and maybe that alone for some people, the achievement's unlocked. And now they go, oh, at least I can email my list once a week. She's right. I'm helping people. And then people pay for me to help them, but I'm getting them out of pain and into pleasure. Or they have a passion point. They're a collector anyway. I'm making them happy. So that reminder sometimes helps people. Another reminder that's similar is you're not peddling porn or trash or junk, shoddy products, shoddy services, shoddy courses. You are not. If for any reason you think on some conscious and or subconscious level that your stuff isn't good enough, well, number one, take a really good hard look at it. Maybe you do need to shore some things up. And instead of beating yourself up, go do that. But in most cases, especially when it's women, when it's Gen X women and older, this is disproportionately an issue for people like us. We struggle and say, it's never going to be good enough. There's somebody that's been in business longer than me. There's somebody whose business is bigger than mine. If Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill said that, they sell hamburgers, hot dogs, ice cream, and milkshakes. And so do most food service establishments, unless they're like very hardcore, like, cultural cuisine. So, we would be competing with a place across the street, Carvel up the block, another place that you could walk to diagonally that was like a deli that also had dessert stuff, diners like literally 5 to 10 minutes away. We not only got some of those places to shut down because we beat them so hard their ancestors felt it once we knew what we were doing, but to boot, like, we're a seven-figure success and we employ more people for a mom and pop shop like us than anywhere in the entire county of Dutchess, which is a pretty big and population dense county in upstate New York. That is saying a lot. So, and it only took us about 2 years to get to like a seven-figure success from barely profitable. And we're in food service. Not to sound mean, that is a far more delicate industry than a lot of other industries. And then COVID came and we didn't close at all. And we had our best year ever at the end of COVID because we know how to drive traffic. If you're not going to come to us in person because you're going to order delivery because of lockdowns, or I'm going to lay low because it's the zillionth variant. Oh, now we have Flurona. My God. YouTube, don't shut me down. I didn't say it didn't exist. I'm just saying that the bottom line is our delivery goes through the roof because we know how to push traffic to our website and we know how to get people to contact us on social directly and or indirectly. We must make easily $1,000 or more every week just from Facebook Messenger, and another $1,000 plus or minus from week to week, if not more closer to the holidays on Instagram. Can you imagine that? Just doing what we're doing. We're not perfect. Nothing and nobody is. We're so big. We're so big and growing so fast. We're like the shoemaker that has no shoes now. May that always be your problem. Ann McDonald says, I say to my clients, don't make obstacle excuses. That's true. Hey, Catherine. Sorry I didn't see you until now. Catherine Drill's in the house. Whoop, whoop. Ginia says, release out into the wild. Yep, that's what I used to do. Yep. Chelsea says, I have an email list with one entire subscriber, but a Facebook group with 1,700 subscribers. Do I try to convert them into the email list or do I just market to them directly? You would do both. You can do both because I'm saying roughly 25%. Y'all know we're ballparking it here, but roughly 25% come from the Facebook group. So Chelsea, take a look at Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill's Facebook group. We have over 3,200 people strong in there. What we tend to do, maybe not every day, but a couple times a week, whoever joins our group, we do click on or tap on members, and then you can see like the new members that have joined your group. I don't know if it wipes off if you don't do anything with it after a while. So it's like I wouldn't go more than a couple of days, but you're admitting your group every day, so you should be fine. So like I tap on members for the Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill Facebook group. And once I see like I have like 4, 5, 10 people, I don't want it to go too long. So sometimes I'm greeting 2, 3 people because maybe it was a little slow. But I will tap open the welcome post that Facebook will automatically populate for you. This is a really good question. I'm glad you asked it. And then I have like a templated greeting that I will paste to the top. I don't just go with what Facebook says and say, hey, everybody, just greet our new members. Yay. Like everyone has nothing better to do. And I do what I call an indoctrination post because these people are new to the Facebook group. They may be new or relatively new to my brand. So that initial post says a little something, something, and tells them to read the comments that follow that post. And in that comment thread, I put like 8, 10 comments. The first comment is always like, this is why you want to stay in this group and it's so valuable and join our email list. Here's the link. The second comment is like, hey, and if you love to see how we make our delicious creations, you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then the next one will be like, and hey, on Instagram, we do different type of content. You want to go here. Then the next comment is like, hey, you really like Pinterest? Go here. Okay. But I will certainly lead with the top couple platforms that I know we're going to be regular with. And then if there's other things too, I let them know that we're there also. Rising tides lift all boats. You're indoctrinating your newly joined Facebook group members. And then once they're on your email list, you can email market to them and do content marketing via social media, YouTube, etc., separate and parallel. I would always do both. I would never just do one. You never know where you're going to catch somebody. Another good caveat is why you really want to do what I'm saying. And you might want to join the Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill Facebook group just to see how I do it. And we run polls, maybe not every week, but often enough because people love polls and Facebook will shove those polls out in the group. They want to see that feature succeed. It increases interactivity and people are more likely to stay on the platform longer. But the main reason why you want to push that email link to your email for Joe's, it's like in our first or second comment most, is because we find that anywhere from 75% to 90% of everyone who joins our Facebook group from week to week get on our email list. That's how a small mom and pop shop in a matter of a couple years is staring down at 10,000 members on our email list. How's that sound? Ginia says, I definitely want to get the February batch. I have my website done and my first line launched by the 1st. That'll be the red velvet batch of frosting. And believe me, I'm not going to be shy. If you're on my email list, you get emails and my once weekly, because I'll go back to once weekly in February through the end of the year for sure, live streams. In January, we have them daily in January 2022. But I'll be letting y'all know in my live streams and replays when Red Velvet Batch of Frosting's out. And that's the February relationship marketing and sales-based marketing plans. Under $50. That plus the Facebook, it's like amazing. Michelle goes, whoop, whoop. Chicken Swell says, me too, Carol and Michelle. I have an email list, but I don't send it. Or if I send it, it's not on a regular basis. So I'm a self-sabotage person. You are. But Julie Mackenzie Brooks, oh my God, girl, where have you been? Much love to you and your husband. I hope you guys are doing well. What's up? Ginia says, this is excellent information about converting group members. I've never heard this advice from anyone else before. Well, thank you for saying that. I love to hear things like that. I'm not just a coach. I have to do what I do for not only my own business. I can be shoemaker has no shoes at that too, because I've got a 7-figure business that I do work for too. And that's Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill. So I am who I say I am, and I can do what I say I can do. Between myself and Joe's, you get a pretty good full-bodied look at like how my stuff tends to work out on the wild. And is it all perfect? No, because nothing and nobody can be perfect. And yes, now that I have like a multiple 6-figure business and Joe's is a 7-figure business, sure, we can invest back into our business to have more team members create and publish content. And sure, we can pay a video editor to edit videos. I don't mind editing videos. I did it on my channel for like a lot of the first year that I had it. And for Joe's, I did it since 2018. But since 2019, someone else edits those videos. I had to reinvest back into my business to free up more time so that I could grow it, create a lot of the content and help that grow. Make sure I'm emailing my list weekly to daily. And anybody who's not getting value should get off the email list. We're not a right match for each other. So you're not going to stay at one email. Chelsea, one thing I would do for Chelsea or anybody else, especially if you have a Facebook group that you have dozens to hundreds or thousands or more people in there, run a poll and say, did you know that if you got on my email list, you would get whatever coupon or whatever freebie, whatever the email opt-in is for them to get on? Please, for the love of all that's good and holy, do not just go get on my email list to get weekly updates. What the frig? Is it 1995? That doesn't work anymore. Stop it. You want to, depending upon your business model, for product space, almost always it's a 20% off coupon or higher. If you offer a coupon that's less than 20%, again, Google the statistics. This is not the gospel according to Stacey Storino. You will find that a lot of people will not use those coupons or opt in for like 5%, 10%, 15% off coupons. 20% and higher, people will respect and opt in for. And if you're like, oh no, Stacey, I'll never be, profitable if I do that. Now I sound like Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry. But then raise your prices, because most of you need to do that anyway, because most of you are self-sabotaging, going, ooh, me? I can't charge amongst top dollar for folks in my industry. They're bigger. They have the right to charge more. No, they don't. Get the heck out of here. And if your ideal customer is millennial, they're willing to pay top dollar from a mom and pop shop who knows how to do it right and is coming off like a business and not like a hobby. They would rather be part of your grassroots revolution than buy a similarly situated product that might even be similarly priced from the man or from a big box store or from corporate America. Okay, you have to know your ideal customer. Millennials, even young at heart, Gen Xers are all over that. Julie says, we are well. Good. How to take a break from my health and decide how to refocus. Starting back up with my new focus. Well, welcome back aboard, Miss Jules. I miss you. But yes, okay, so as an example, if you've got a Facebook group and it's been long ago and far away that these folks have joined, run a poll. Facebook loves those. They'll push it out and say, did you know that if you opted into my email list, you could save 20%? Or if you're a coach or a course creator, for example, you could go, did you know that if you opted into my email list, you would get my 3 free video series, my video series for free about, I don't know, how to lose 5 pounds in 5 days or whatever it is that you're coaching for people. Don't put the link in that post. Just ask people, do you know? The 2 options are yes and no, obviously. And then in the first comment for that poll, you put, just in case you're not on my email list, here's the link. And you put the live clickable link on Facebook. Ta-da! If Instagram is more your jam, you could do the poll sticker in your Instagram story-based content. And you could be like, did you know that you could get whatever if you were on my email list? Yes or no. Click the link in bio to get it. You could put like another line of type under there. You can do all sorts of stuff with polls if you haven't experimented with them, with the poll sticker. And you could just drive people to the link in bio, which the link in bio should be your email opt-in. It should not be your website. Capture those leads, because you are more likely to get their attention more and more often through email instead of shoveling them off at your website where what? 98% of them won't buy on the first trip anyway. My God. So I know in the Instagram bio, it says website. And so what a head fake. You would think to put your website. Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill doesn't do that on Instagram. Nope. And that's for a reason. You want a 10,000. Well, we're not at 10,000 yet. Don't lie, Stacey. But Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill is like way up there. Okay. It's getting there. And you want beautiful open rates, beautiful click-through rates. You want to be like, when I run a promo once a week, it's like I'm printing money. How do you think you get there? By going, oh no, this whole thing, no. No, that's not how we sell. That's not how we sell. Love this. Run a poll. Yes, please do it immediately. Carol Neal says, I need to change my discount to a higher amount. Is it okay to have a minimum amount to spend? No. Well, I mean, you can split test. You can do what they call A/B split test. So we're running over time, which I don't mind. You can Google what A/B split test means, and it'll give you more of a breakdown so you can kind of wrap your arms around this concept. But what it is in essence is I would try 1 week where it's, say, 20% off minimum, with a minimum purchase. And then the next week, and so I would do a 1 week look back at those stats. And then the next week, I would try 20% with a minimum purchase of $50. What I would and you could compare and contrast, and what you are likely going to see is that the more complicated your call to action is, the less likely people are going to opt in. Now, I'm not, I had a student make this for me, and I love that because I would always say, I don't have a working crystal ball. So, Donna, if you're watching this live or on the replay, much love, and you know that. But we giggle because, like, seriously, I don't have a crystal ball and I'm not a guarantor of an outcome. But when you A/B split test, and you very likely see that the more words you have to use, the more complicated it is for your call to action, that the less opt-ins you get, please don't be surprised. Okay. But maybe, just maybe, it does work out for you better. So you'll only know best when you A/B split test to figure that out. Does that make sense? Like, you may have to go research A/B split test a little more, but does that make sense? Okay, great advice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would much prefer that you just look at, you do a couple things. Number one, your industry's best. For coaches and course creators, it's kind of easy because once you have like your cloud hosting site for content, and you have your video hosting site for more video specific stuff, and because maybe PDFs have to be in another cloud hosting site for that part of your content, and your website, your expenses tend to be largely fixed for a lot of things. And then that's it. It doesn't get more complicated. With email service providers like MailChimp, like ConvertKit, like Entreport, the bigger your list gets, once you've exhausted any sort of free or freemium thing they have going on, sure, the more they're going to charge you because it's more space on their server that your list is taking up. They're not being mean or random when they do that. May you have the problem that it costs you hundreds of dollars a month or more to maintain your gondola huge email list, because again, 75% of your sales should be coming from your email list. And you're not going to get repeat buyers more than likely if they're not even willing to get on your email list to even, get a purchase or make a purchase. The people who people check their email 19 times a day, and that does include young adults. It does. Again, Google those stats. I am not spreading fake news. And Susie, I agree with you. She says, I'm teaching myself how to repurpose my YouTube videos into GIFs and Reels. Yes, GIFs are a lot easier. And so that's cool too, to help you cover your daily base for your top 2 minimum social media platforms for your niche. But Reels is very important. And please don't be shy or sheepish about getting on TikTok. Last summer, like August, September, really, they hit the tipping point of being 52% grown adults versus 48% tweens, teens, and kids. Once you hit that tipping point, that platform is no longer the wild, wild west. That platform is becoming more mature, literally and figuratively. And if you're like, but I don't understand it, Stacey, like I get on my kids or my grandkids' TikTok account, I go, oh, well, TikTok has been trained to show them certain types of content. When you start your own content, in the beginning, it's going to be hard, but you can like heart what you like and dismiss what you don't, and it will start showing you within a day more content that's more aligned with what you want to see as a user. And the amount of adults have only increased on TikTok since then. But also, if you use a search feature on TikTok for words or hashtags specifically that your ideal customer would be searching up on in order to get the content they want to binge about, their main pain point or their main passion point about that, you will see already there's a ton of competition for all of that. So instead of waiting any longer to get on TikTok, I would make sure that you're on TikTok as well. And you are going to be like, Stacey, I'm a solopreneur. And I get that. But this is where you take that. Reels only goes up currently to a minute. So I'd have your videos be a minute or less because you won't get them on Reels if you don't, naturally. But what I want you to do is to take that same raw video that's on your camera roll that you uploaded to Instagram, and then, you got in the creator studio there and you like edited your reel and you published it. Go on to TikTok, pull up that same raw video. Do not repurpose direct videos that are edited between Reels and TikTok, okay? The algorithms know the source files, even if you strip off like any logo, okay? That's not helping you. They know where the source files were for these, and they're going to dumb down the reach of their competitors. They're not rewarding you for not spending time, even if it's not a lot of time, on their platforms. So take that raw video that you used to create the Instagram reel, pull it up into the TikTok editor, and just edit it there. Plus, you're using the songs and the sound effects that each platform has approved. There's a lot of crossover, but not tons. You can get a content strike on either platform if you're using songs and or sound effects on one platform. That's okay, but then you go to lazily repurpose and you get in trouble over here because they're like, oh, no, that's not ours. We don't legally have approval to do it. Remember, they're not owned by the same parent company. That's why. Everyone has to raise their prices, or almost everyone. My more experienced students, I don't have to talk to you guys about it. I just started TikTok and I'm still learning. Okay, I got it. Susie V, you definitely want to look at my TikTok growth playlist on my YouTube channel because it shows how Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill got to their first 100 subs, 500 subs, and I think it was like 6, 7, 800,000. Like there's a couple videos in that playlist. It's not a ton. And I give you different tips, tricks, and techniques in each. So even if you're not in Social Talk Shortcut, which is my TikTok deep dive course, you'll be fine. That'll give you a good head start. But Carol, you should raise your prices and blame 2022 and inflation and raise your prices. Okay. You should be having, like, this is a very broad brushstroke, no matter what, business model you're in. But I know for food service and for many other businesses, again, painting with a very broad brushstroke, about a third of your expenses about a third of the price that you charge needs to cover all of your business related expenses. The next third needs to cover all of your payroll, independent contractors, employers, you. And then a third of your price is just pure profit. If you're a products-based business, the expenses for your business are, of course, your materials, your ingredients, your, whatever. And yes, that's going to include if your email service provider starts charging you like MailChimp, or you're on ConvertKit or Entreport or something like that. Fixed costs like those need to be in your third. A third needs to be just pure profit post-tax. So almost guaranteed you need to raise your prices. You've been charging too little. And that's also part of the reason why you may not have made any financial goals that you set for 2021. Michelle McLaughlin, thank you for for taking leadership and being vulnerable. She said that happened to me. Instagram didn't like my TikTok video. And that's why. So I know it's like a couple extra steps, but let's face it, to put up a friggin' Instagram reel and then quickly put up a TikTok behind it the way I said, what is that going to cost you? Like, I don't know. Once you kind of are very familiar with both editors, and they're very similar to each other because Instagram totally ripped off TikTok. Okay. Really, more or less they did. So once you know one, you know the other. They're really not that different. What's it going to take you? What's it going to take you? 10, 15 minutes? Ah, you poor baby. Now go edit a YouTube video that's only 10 to 15 minutes long. Totally a lot more time. Thank God for Barney. I would never want to edit my videos anymore. Jesus. Me too. TikTok to Facebook, the music was mute. Yup. Facebook owns Instagram, so you can have a lot of crossover there. But Facebook doesn't own TikTok. Facebook doesn't own Snap. Facebook doesn't own YouTube if you're doing YouTube Shorts, because some of my students are doing that. Be very, very careful. So the only crossover that you can do, the only lazy posting you can do is Facebook to Instagram and vice versa. That's it. Otherwise, you're going to get slammed. I'm telling you. Or you're going to get like no reach and you're going to go, Stacey, this is totally a waste of my time. But there's a reason why it's not working. Carol O'Neill said, never thought of the 1/3 formula, especially for email services. Yup, your overhead has got to be covered by 1/3 of your prices. Chelsea said, I'm sorry I skipped over you. Thanks, Stacey. So helpful and meaningful right off the bat. I'll watch the old videos all the way through because I know it helps, and I'll try to attend all month. Well, thank you very much. And like I said, I will be posting replays. So let me just give you another couple of thoughts. I'm going to give you 6 steps to psych out self-sabotage. And I'm going to say this up front. I've had to go through counseling too years and years and years ago because I engaged in a lot of self-sabotage and I needed help. Okay. So when I say, and you know your own facts and circumstances, yet don't be defensive. I love you. Okay. I really do. Do you need counseling? Do you need to have a fresh outside perspective to help you? Even the people that you live with might like to love you very much, but they're not going to give you from the outside looking in the fresh perspective that you need. You're all marinating in the same life soup together. So maybe you get coaching, maybe you get like a talk therapy of some form. Maybe you get both. A life coach, by the way, is not a psychotherapist or a licensed talk therapist or vice versa. And sometimes parallel can work. And there are free groups in a lot of municipalities when you can go and do one-on-group coaching. Just Google it and see what's available in and around your area. You don't always have to pay. But that if you have some serious blocks, like, man, I cannot be like with my coaching here, woo, and help you overcome that. All right. I wish, because then that'd be great. But again, if you are not comfortable getting outside of your comfort zone, it's always going to be uncomfortable. But if you can't get used to that kind of discomfort and feel the fear and do it anyway, you're going to self-sabotage. And I'm not saying that everybody who feels uncomfortable getting outside their comfort zone, you need therapy. One does not necessarily have to beg the other. What is persistent and consistent with most folks is that there will always be a sense of uncertainty and discomfort getting outside your comfort zone. That just means you're normal. So if you don't believe in yourself, then you could have the best products on earth, but you will find every last excuse not to market them at all. Or I just have the website and I publish to social media a couple times a week. Email list, what's that? Or I can't email. Stacey, you're such a pushy native New Yorker. I'm not like you. I couldn't dare email my list every week. Daily to near daily, are you out your mind? No. I have a successful business. Okay. You don't ask, you don't get, folks. And if you are making offers to people who need and or very much want what it is that you're selling, when they can, they will buy. They will not run away and set your business digitally on fire because you dared ask them to get out of pain and into pleasure using your offerings, your products, your services, or both. So here's some tips, tricks, and life hacks that, besides what I just said, that will help you to psych out your subconscious mind when it's trying to nanny you and keep you in the playpen of your comfort zone. First, like we discussed the other days, so go back and listen to the other days coaching, writing down your goals, typing them up, and making them believable and achievable using the formula that I taught you so that you don't just have goals, you have actionable plans that are very granular, fine grained, and specific. So you literally have the roadmap. Now you just got to travel the journey, right? So as you get out of your comfort zone, you do have more of a sense of certainty because you have more concrete, actionable goals. That's the first tip. The last 2 days will help you in tandem with one another. And also, just like we discussed the other day, you want SMART goals, SMAART goals. There's an extra A just in case you've heard of the SMART goal acronym. So I believe I put a bit of a spin on that will help you get even more granular. So you put everything through the SMART goal filter to flesh things out. So you definitely have a plan when you're done. Third, I want you to tweak your goals even after you've made them SMART, so that each and every step of the way you're doing things in alignment with your personal and professional why. So all of that came from day one of this 31-day journey. Do not drift or get off on track. That why, personally and professionally, should not only give your 2022 shape, but it should make you excited to push past the comfort zone, right? Your plans are kind of like the stick, and that why is kind of like the carrot. Between the carrot and the stick, you can get yourself to move. You're not going to get any long-term traction if you don't truly want to take action, right? If something doesn't resonate with something that you want that's fun and super positive, you're not going to be as motivated to do it. Because let's face it, how many of you had financial goals last year that you really needed to hit and maybe you didn't? So yes, leverage like that can help you when you use it to get leverage on yourself in a healthy way. But if that hasn't been enough, it's because you don't have enough carrot simultaneously to get you through to psych out that self-sabotage, right? Then the fourth tip that I have is that I want you to organize all your goals into 2 batches. This is definitely new over the last 2 days. I want you to set short-term goals, and I want you to set long-term goals, but no short-term goals should last beyond 90 days. So I want you to put urgency behind these short-term goals by keeping the timetable tight. What can you do in a week? What can you do in a month? What can you do inside a business quarter or 90 days, right? Short-term goals can include anything you need to accomplish today too. That's obviously a legit short-term goal. Anything over 90 days is a long-term goal, even if you keep it inside of 2022 as you sit here now. Fifth, long-term goals do have to be in the mix. I don't want you to try to shatter everything out and boil everything down into a simplistic sea of short-term goals. You might get overwhelmed. So your why, personally and or professionally, is supposed to be that North Star or that carrot to guide you throughout 2022, right? And that's great. But I want you to look at your goals holistically as a ladder that you climb up from the bottom of 2022, where you are now in January, to the top of 2022. It's getting to be the last couple days of the year. Each short-term goal are like rungs on the ladder. Your bigger long-term goals can take you up halfway the ladder to all the ladder, right? So I want you to think about that when you're setting timetables up for you to achieve your SMART goals. So a few long-term goals marking major benchmarks of distance between you and achieving the overall why for this year, personally and professionally, help to give your plan shape. And finally, the long-term goals that you set, now we're going to at least introduce the concept of what can you do inside of 2022 or approximately a year. Then I do want you to give your future some shape. What would be like a good, appropriate 5-year goal for you personally, and then 5-year goal for you professionally, and then 10-year and 20-year goals, right? Okay. Try to have at least one of each for the overall plan of your life, business and personal, right? So personally, 1, 5, 10, and 20-year goals. Professionally, have at least one 1-year, 5-year, 10-year, and 20-year goal. If you've not gotten really concrete about planning out your future, not for real, this can help you, right? So if you're comfortable with like the 30,000-foot view of your life, like your why and your long-term goals in concert with one another, and then you've got all the rungs to get you from here where you're starting in January to there at the top of the ladder in December, all those rungs. Now the overall plan that you have personally and professionally that is going to seem far more believable to you and therefore achievable to you. So I hope that helps you. Bridget says, short term and long term, my email by Saturday, set up welcome series, which is an automated series for anybody that opts onto our email list this week by next Saturday. And then a long term goal, get regular sending emails. Actually, Bridget, I say this with love. That has to be a short term goal. You and Darren want to get to 7 figures, and it's so doable for you, given your facts and circumstances. You got to start sending weekly emails every single week. I don't care if you reach out to me privately just to confirm, because I know you won't lie. You reach out to me every week and say, I did it, Stacey. I sent my weekly email. I will cheer you back. Okay. That's how important sending a weekly email is. I kid you not. I kid you not. All right, guys. So I really over delivered. This has been an hour and a half. Please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. It's like you're putting a tip in the tip jar. You are helping me while this is live. You are also helping me on the replay, because more people who have subscribed to me will see this on the replay. So please, 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 big thumbs up for this video. I love your tough love, says Bridget. Thank you. Well, you know what? Because I could sit here and digitally spoon y'all all day long, and you've got enough people doing that. I'm being brutally honest with you. I try to keep the accent mark on honest and not on brutal, but I've gotten more people to at, near, and over 6 figures in the last several years, let alone the last 9 years total that I'm going into now. And I do have a 7-figure success that I got to 7-figure success. I have another friend of mine who is a multiple 7-figure business, and I've given good actionable advice to her. I mean, but how do you think I do it? It's not just by passively putting stuff out there. If I don't get you to hold your feet to the fire, I'm not doing my job, because my job is to get you results so that you're the success that you want is more believable and achievable. So, you want somebody that's just going to be all soft core. That's everybody else. You're welcome, Jenny. Catherine says, breaking down the goal setting makes a lot of sense and is very workable. I appreciate the layout. You are welcome. Okay, so make sure that you subscribe, you click that bell notification, select all, and we will carry this forward tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I would normally be going at 10 a.m. on this channel once a week, but it's January, so we're doing daily. So yes, tomorrow, January 5th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be here, and we will go on to the next topic. If you missed any other days, go to the playlist for 2022 and catch up, because every day we do a little bit more. We build a little bit more. So don't want you to miss out. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.